Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Be glad there's one place in the world where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Happy Interdependence Day. Yay! Anybody stay up to watch the fireworks?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, those numbers are pretty light there. Yeah, we were 8:40, we were done. We were like, okay, we can go outside at 8:45 right when they start. We can be in bed by 9. We didn't even make it to 8:45. Get it? But I love watching fireworks. There's something magical about them. I think, probably just from our childhood, something just fun to remember. It was always a fun time. So we didn't make it. But anyway, I woke up this morning, and as the first thing I do every morning right after coffee, I turned on my phone and I read my Abraham Hicks message for the day, which today said, "The universe is not discriminating about the rightness or wrongness of your request. It is here to accommodate all requests. All you have to do is be a vibrational match to your request, and the universe will yield it to you." That pretty much says it all, but I think that trips us up a lot of times. It's like, okay, well, who gets to determine what's right and wrong then? Because I must be doing something wrong or I'd have what I want. How come that person's wrong and he gets what he wants? Oh, maybe I shouldn't be saying he's wrong because I don't know if I'm right. So you have all this monkey mind going on. But it contains several elements that I personally believe in. Now, these are just mine. Number one, the universe has I believe the universe, God, Creator, has no personal stake in anything that we do, think, believe, say. It is here, we are here for the experience of what we do. I think, as we've talked about with near-death experiences, I believe our judgment comes from our self when we go into spirit and we have to review our life. And we go, oh, I can't believe I did that. Okay, and maybe we don't even have those emotions, but this is what I understand from the people who have had these near-death experiences. So, I think we are not here to jump through hoops, so some arbitrary thing at the end of our life can say, oh yeah, you were right, you were good, so you can go to heaven, you were bad, so you got to go to hell. I will never believe that. So, we're here just to simply create our experiences. Number two, the universe always says yes, regardless of what you say, believe, do. I am freaking brilliant. The universe says, yes, you are. I remind myself that. I am sick and tired of fill in the blank. Yes, you are sick and you are tired. And then, I'm never going to have enough. Yes, you are never going to have enough. That doesn't work for me either. The universe is not there to judge your beliefs. You are here to create them. Number three, in order to receive what you want to manifest, you have to become a vibrational match to what it is you want. In other words, first become the thing that you want. Because we've been in this long enough. Everything is energy. So if that red car, that red Mustang you want, a green Mustang you want, how about that? That's a little more targeted. That green Mustang you want is vibrating at, 2 gigahertz. You better get your vibration up there. How do you get your vibration up there? With your emotions. You get yourself juiced up. Oh my God, I can't wait to drive that green car. That Mustang, oh my God, it's just going to feel so good. All the chicks are going to be checking me out. And, this is how you get yourself juiced up. And this is the only way. I was trying to figure this out. For the longest time, I've been trying to figure this out. How do you get to be a vibrational match? Because then, as some of you probably remember, I work in electronics, which there's frequencies that you have to match in order to get a radio station, just even in your car. You have to be tuned into the right station, and that means your tuner has to be on the same frequency as the broadcast signal for the radio station. So, what is that? I'm like, well, what the hell is what's the frequency of a new house? A nice new Adobe 4-bedroom, 2-bath with a great big yard and an Adobe wall enough for the dogs. What is the vibration of that? And then I went back to what I've talked about before, is Abraham Hicks talked about their ladder of, what was it, the emotional ladder. And bliss and joy and bliss are right at the top. So it only follows that the only way to get up to that thing that you are really relishing, that you really want, is to get yourself juiced up into joy and bliss about that thing. But if you want that nice house and you think, oh hell, there's no way. There's no way I can afford that. I'll never have a nice house like that. What the hell is the universe supposed to do with that? Nothing. They're going to say, okay, yes, you can't afford that house. So that is the vibrational match you have to get to. There's no magic frequency to attune to. It is simply getting yourself juiced up, loving that thing, even though you don't have it yet. Love that thing, because in spirit, in energy, you do have it. And the more you can focus on that energy, then you can bring it into manifestation. And now we talk a lot about manifestation here, but I just want to say it's not always about money and things. Our manifesting, one of the things we want to manifest, I think we all want to manifest here, is a more direct connection and a closer connection with our higher source of understanding, whatever that is for you. If you believe in God, don't you want to be closer to God? If you believe in the universe, don't you want to have a closer relationship and feel that power? Of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. So that is why we talk about manifestation, is to get you in that space of getting together with what it is you want, no matter what it is. And when we get together with the things we want and stay positive and put out good vibes with it, well, it doesn't really matter whether you stay positive or negative. Everything you think, everything you manifest affects everybody else. So if you go outside the walls and say, oh my God, that CUL is freaking awesome, that builds up our vibration too. It builds up our, it lines up with what we're trying to create here too. If you go outside and you say, well, that sucked. That's doing the same type of thing. You're not lining up with our intention. So anything that oh, my son-in-law is just an idiot. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you say this, my son-in-law is just an idiot. You're really not helping your daughter. You're not helping your grandkids. And I did have an occasion to say that, but... Yeah, I know. I'm still human. I'm working on all this. So if you think that just because you're not sitting in the lotus position, concentrating on what it is you want, that's not true. Every moment of every day, every second, you are creating something. Even if you're not creating something specific, you could be creating by default. You're doing the same thing as yesterday. You created today. So why didn't you, if you didn't like what you did yesterday, why didn't you create something different today? Try it. It's really a lot of fun. Now I get up and say all kinds of wild stuff, but my favorite thing is to get up and read Abraham Hicks. It's always fun. And I started watching and listening to a guy named Eric Ho. He's a British Chinese gentleman that just has great videos online. So if you want to get pumped up, he's really a great one for that too. So if at any time you feel you don't matter here at CUL, just remember that each one of you is part of the fabric of what we have built here. Every day you come, every kind thought you think about us, every kind thought you think about members in our community is strengthening our fabric. And this is all we want. We want a strong community. We want love. We want compassion. That is what builds community. That is what changes the world. Not bombs, like Rumi said. Not bombs. Not fussing and fighting. So, let's create something beautiful together today, okay? All right. Have you ever just wanted something so badly you could taste it? You meditated on it. You prayed about it. You did a vision board. You did, I don't know, what else can you do with it? You tear pictures out of magazines, which I don't recommend at the grocery store because our manager did not appreciate that at all. You focus on it and you talk about it to everybody, and then you lay out the whole timeline. You're like, okay, I want to have it by this, and this is what happened with me. We got here in April 2017, so when we started this. Immediately, we'd been living in motorhomes for 13 years at this point. I was over it. We got here, I knew I was home, and I said, I want a house. And from the beginning, I've been wanting an adobe brick house, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, or 3-bath, because I wanted my grandson to come visit. And a yard for the dogs with grass. The rest of it can be natural, but I want the backyard with grass. I just had it all laid out. And not only that, I set the timeline. I told the universe when I wanted it. Yeah. So, because, I recalled that Edwin Gaines had said, Jesus said, command ye me, not don't make me guess, make me guess. So I went out and, I just got really specific about everything. And I still have it. I know exactly what I want. But then I made the mistake of trying to put a timeline on the universe. Yeah. We got here in April. I'm ready for this. I got this. August, I'll get my certificate of eligibility from the VA. September, I'll find the house, put it into escrow. October, we'll close escrow, move in. November, I'm ready for my family Thanksgiving dinner. I've already invited my family, okay? I've already invited my family. I am so sure. December, well, the CUL solstice party over there, because we're going to have a nice big house with a nice great yard, and it's still nice enough, maybe a little nice in December we could do that. Well, maybe you've heard of this amazing philosopher. What was his name? Oh, Woody Allen. If you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. Yeah. Well, I immediately started looking at Zillow and Realtor.com. So I'm not finding a lot of houses exactly what I want, but I start realizing, holy moly, it's been a long time since I've looked at houses. Prices have gone up just a skosh in 13 years by this time. So I really wasn't prepared for the sticker shock, but I had faith in the universe. So, August, I'll get my certificate of eligibility. September, we're going to put it in escrow. October, we're going to move in. November, we're going to have Thanksgiving dinner at my house with my family. I'm on this. So I'm inspiration board, vision board, meditating. I don't do a lot of praying, so meditating and just talking about it and just reinforcing that I'm going to have this thing. Keep in mind, I was not in the entire best space at that time. We had just got here, and I had no idea of the magnitude of what we were walking into. So I was not in good alignment with myself. I knew what I wanted to do, but I wasn't there yet. I'm on a journey just like everybody else here. So I needed to find... I felt like I needed to have this house in order to be part of this community and be solid in this space and start building something that I wanted. I'd been building all this stuff that Arvel wanted for all these years, and now it was my turn. This was, in large part my dream. So we got the inspiration to move here, made the decision. And by God, I wanted a real home to live in. More prayer, more dream boarding. And with each meditation, each dream board manipulation, I was getting more and more discouraged. And I was tanking. I was wounded. I was absolutely devastated because I felt like the universe had let me down. So, a couple of months ago, so I didn't understand it. I just really put things on the back burner. I just figured, okay, I've got my work here to do. Let me just focus on this, and then I'll come back to this in another time. So a couple months ago, I got turned on to Gabrielle Bernstein. Anybody know her? Oh boy, I got here just in time. She's awesome. Her story pretty much mirrored mine, except for the part where she was trying to have a baby, and well, that ship sailed a long time ago for me, but I digress. She shared her 5 steps for manifesting. And if this resonates with you, just feel free to write it down on the little lines that I provided for you in your bulletin. Number 1, take your hands off the wheel. I think Carrie Underwood, does she have that song? Yeah. Jesus, take the wheel. So let the universe do its job. For me to get a house that I want, in the price that I want, under the conditions I want, there is a lot of organization that the universe has to do. First of all, there's probably somebody living in that house, okay? And that would have been a little awkward for us to just go, okay, it's October, you're out. So we have to be mindful that the universe has things it needs to do to line things up for us, to bring us exactly what we want. So, when we acknowledge that we don't have control and let the universe do its job, we give ourselves the gift of alignment with our higher power, and the magnitude of our authentic power is exponentially raised. We can't do this alone. We have never been able to do it alone. We align with that source of our being. So can you think about that thing that you've been controlling and holding on to and simply say to yourself, I'm just going to pray with love for the highest good for all. Could you do that? Just go, just let go of that. I mean, everybody has wants and desires and dreams, and that's good. I mean, that's what keeps the juices going, right? I just launched another one last night, so that takes the pressure off when you know you don't have to do it alone. Number 2, turn your focus to what is working. This is about gratitude. But it's more than just gratitude. It's really actively look for those things that are right in your life. There's innumerable things that are right and thriving in your life. Well, for one thing, you're here, right? So when I started taking the focus off the house I thought I needed to manifest in this exact amount of time, and I started focusing on the beauty of Cottonwood, on my family, my physical well-being, and the spiritual journey here at CUL, I began to uncover things about myself I never knew. I started to let myself off the hook and take time to realign and get connected with my higher source. And when I started aligning and connecting, I felt the pressure dissipate. So when you begin to move your focus on what you think you need and put your focus on what's already thriving, well, let me just say, I know you're thriving, because I can see it in your faces. You're thriving right now. Let's focus on that. You're breathing, you're sitting, you're upright. You're loved beyond belief. So why not focus on what's thriving in your life? Just look around you and see the smiling faces. So last week I talked about shadow work, and I gave you words to my, talking about my inner guide, who I call, inner guide. I call it Ing. Anna. When I need help seeing a better situation, I say out loud, Ing, I am completely out of faith right now. Help me. I surrender this to you. Please reinterpret this situation for me and help me see it with love. That again takes all the pressure off of whatever it is I'm trying to manifest or want. So number 4, ask for a sign. Wait, did I skip over? I did. I skipped over 3. Stand by. Oh no, we got to do 3. I'm sorry. There's Gabrielle. Take the hands off the wheel. Turn 3. So obstacles are simply detours to point us in the right direction. Do you get that? Yes. Obstacles are simply detours to get us pointed in the right direction. How about that? So what I realized is that the obstacle or that wounded feeling of not being able to buy my perfect home right away was a detour in the direction of my spiritual connection. Rumi says that the wound is the place where the light enters. And that light was guiding me to look within for my own alignment with my source first. And I can almost guarantee, had we gotten the house for whatever reason, it wouldn't have been the right house. It would have been a bad neighborhood. It would have, not bad neighborhood, but it would have been a neighborhood we didn't really resonate with. We would have been forcing a situation that just would not have served us in the long run. So the detour showed me that after all the 13 years on the road and 500,000 miles, I had to first learn how to be at home in my own body and to reconnect with myself and my source. All the time we were touring, there was never time to connect with yourself. And I can say that's not an excuse, that was reality. When you put that many miles on, do that many shows, 160 shows a year, you do not have time to think, I'm not in alignment with myself. You're like, okay, you go get the equipment. We got to get set up in 30 minutes because show starts in 30 minutes, and we got to get the band members, blah, blah, blah. It's one right after the other. So maybe you can begin looking at your obstacles like that divorce as a detour in the right direction, an opportunity to start to love yourself even more. Maybe the loss of that job is an opportunity to do something you really dream about. Maybe that diagnosis is an opportunity to get closer to your higher being. But sometimes we just need a little help. And that is what took me back to Ing. Ing, I'm completely out of faith right now. Help me, I surrender this to you. Please reinterpret this for me and help me see this with love. So the opportunities that you're seeing, what direction is it pointing you in? Number 4, ask for a sign. Easy enough, right? Now I had, back in the day, I remember it was almost blasphemy if we talked about asking Jesus for a sign. God, give me a sign. And I thought, well, I don't know what's wrong with that, I think it's just that faith thing. But anyway, we're always in communication with the universe. We're just not usually listening. But when we ask for a sign, we will always receive one. It's law. So ask for a sign that you're moving in the right direction and on the right path. The only survivor of a shipwreck had washed up on a shore of an uninhabited island. So he prayed fervently for God, please save me, save me. So he didn't hear, he kept watching out there on the horizon for ships to come and save him. Nothing ever showed up. So he just sort of gave up, and he built himself this little wooden hut with driftwood where he stored what little few possessions he has and a little bit of food he'd been able to accumulate. And one day he went out to go forage for food, forage for more food. When he came back, his hut was on fire. And smoke was billowing up and everything. I mean, everything was lost. And he said, God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you doing this to me? Nothing. Early next morning, a ship pulls up. And he said, how did you know I was here? And they said, we saw the smoke from your fire. So, you know, you never know. You try to get those, you ask for those signs. And you got to listen. And that's the second part of that. You really got to listen with an open heart without any attachment to that outcome. Because remember, sometimes when it seems like they're falling apart, they're actually falling into place. So ask for a sign, you will receive. Give yourself a chance to truly listen and take that inspired, aligned action from that place of wisdom and peace. And the final step is, when you think you've surrendered, surrender some more. And I go back to what I said before about surrendering. It's not surrendering my will, it's surrendering that control of that will. Align it with your higher source. My favorite line from A Course in Miracles is, those who are certain of the outcome can afford to wait, and wait without anxiety. So over these last 2 years, I've learned to be very comfortable being in one place, to fall in love with the community, to align with my higher power so that when the timing is right, I'll have my adobe home, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, large party patio, amazing adobe fenced backyard, or something even better. And it'll be the home of my dreams. Get comfortable and uncross your legs now. Turn down the lights, Larry. If you want to kick off your shoes, it's great for grounding. And take a deep breath. Gently open your eyes. Let's create something beautiful together, because it's in that alignment you will always know that the universe has your back. Thank you.
Thank you.